And welcome back to another episode of the Zero Empty Spaces podcast, episode 71, with Treasure Coast Square Mall in Jensen Beach resident artist Helen Parchment-Linton here from our beautiful studio right up front. If you didn't know about Zero Empty Spaces, myself, Evan Snow, and my business partner, Mr. Andrew Martineau, as arts advocates, community builders, and placemakers, started an initiative to activate vacant commercial real estate spaces so talented artists like her can have space to create and collaborate affordably outside their homes. It's led to a myriad of win-win-win benefits with the first 33 spaces we've activated over the last 6 years across 4 states, with over 800 artists having come through the program, changing hundreds of artists' lives thousands of times over. And we're glad to do it and glad to support here. And the point of the podcast is to connect you with the talented artists like her that make the program what it is. And she's got quite a lot of talent and creativity to share. But without much further ado, to kick us off, your story serendipitously begins in Treasure Beach, Jamaica, and now you're here creating in the Treasure Coast of Florida, which I thought was kind of interesting. Can you kind of take us through the journey of how you arrived here and what brought you from Jamaica to the States, and how has that move influenced you both personally and artistically?
Well, my dad was here. He's an American citizen, Jamaican American, was living here, and it's me and my sisters. It's 6 of us, and my brother, and he wanted all of us here. So I didn't want to really come because I was working. I had a good job in Kingston, and I loved it there. I worked with some Japanese, the coffee company, and I loved it. So, but he wanted us here, so we came here. So we came to Miami, and then I got married, went to New York. After that, lived in New York for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And then came back to Miami in the 90s. And so from Treasure Beach, I lived there till I was probably it's my hometown. And I lived there till I was about 17 or 18. And then I moved out because it's back then it was a small area, and there wasn't really much to do down there. It was the men will go fishing because it's a fishing village. And now it's like a big tourist area, and so I am so proud of them, and they edge me on, they call me, they tell me how proud they are of me, and I am so proud of them.
And another great thing is social media, and people get great comments on your work.
So when I started, I actually started in Miami in the 90s. My son went to Palmetto High, and I was helping him one night with his homework, and we were drawing all these Greek goddesses and stuff, and I'm like, Chris, I'm so bad at this. And he's like, Mommy, my high school has adult classes, and I think they have art. Maybe you need to try it. And so after work, I would go there, and in the evenings. But then the teacher told me, I painted 2 pictures, and she told me, I think you don't quit your day job. So I'm like, okay, I guess she's telling me that I'm not good, right? So then I just packed up my box, that I bought from Pearls. Remember Pearls?
Oh, wow.
That was way back then.
I know Pearl.
So I packed up my box with my paint and my easel that I have back there. That's from those times. And I put them away, and I never went back. So, banking was my thing. I was in it for almost 30 years. And then I moved up here 8 years ago from, it was just, the rent was just enormous in Miami. So I'm like, okay, maybe we can find something cheaper up here.
And up here,
So
for those that aren't familiar, this is Martin
Port,
County in
hmm,
the Port St.
Port
Lucie
St.
Stewart
Lucie,
area, which
right?
is above Palm Beach, below Brevard County, Melbourne, below
Below
Orlando, but
Orlando.
we're out
Hmm.
of South Florida,
Right,
so it's
right.
a lot more affordable here.
So much more affordable. So we moved up here, and then with me fixing up the new place, wanted to see. Then my dad became very sick,
Mm.
and so I went to Jamaica, got him to bring him back to health, so he could go back. But then he didn't want to go back. He's like, "Can I stay with you?" So I let him stay with me, and then he, had strokes upon strokes, and then he became not able to walk. So then I couldn't look for a job. So then I have to take care of him now. So uh, I used to buy him little canvases and watercolor paints, so he could have something to do while he's on the bed. So after that, when I saw that, I'm like, maybe I should take out my box, my pearls box,
Wow.
and maybe try again. So we used to paint together in the passageway of my house, and one day I put them on my Facebook page, and I got so many people wanted to buy these things that I didn't think was good, and I'm like, oh my God, really? So here I am.
That's a very interesting journey. I mean, I'm certainly sorry to hear about your father's health and family's important,
Hmm.
but it's interesting that was the kind of the spark and the catalyst.
That was the catalyst that propelled me, and I got so many people wanting my art because I felt, okay, I didn't know what else to paint, so I painted my hometown of Treasure Beach. That's what I knew most. So like that right there, that's my no, the one on the wall. That's the pond behind my grandmother's house in Treasure Beach. So this little pond, we call it Will's Pond. That's the pond, from my grandmother's house. So they have a story. It's not just
Mm-hmm.
a painting.
Mm-hmm.
It's a memory, and that
Sense of
one,
place.
yeah, that one up there. That's we used to play as kids in that sand dune. We used to slide down, and I went home, and I'm like, oh, they're still taking sand from there. Lots of houses in my area was made with that sand.
Amazing.
So yeah.
Art could be many different things to many different people.
Mm-hmm.
Art could be history. Art could be storytelling. Art could be communication. Art could be an
Mm-hmm.
investment, interior
Mm-hmm.
design.
Mm-hmm.
And, for all the things that people say about social media, the bad and the good, if it does have the ability to connect with your friends, family,
Mm-hmm.
followers, and now
Mm-hmm.
collectors.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm so glad that, I mean, the way that the story unfolds
Mm-hmm.
led you back to something that for you
Mm-hmm.
is very rewarding and fulfilling.
It's so fulfilling, so fulfilling. I can't tell you how many compliments that I've gotten, and how many people have sent me pictures of the paintings that they bought from me and where they put it in their homes, and how it makes them feel. And it's just an amazing journey. The first time that I got a call from somebody in Switzerland, and I'm like, nah, this is a
That you
joke,
knew or
right?
didn't know?
That I didn't know. And I'm like, oh, but this can't be. I mean, I don't know nobody. How did they know about my art anyway? It was a tourist that went to my hometown that somehow saw my paintings and wanted me to paint something for them. And I'm like, oh, okay. So I did the painting, shipped it out to Switzerland.
Wow.
And I'm like, oh my God, I'm shipping to Switzerland, a little me.
Wow.
I mean, and then it went from there. So it's Switzerland, Norway, Amsterdam, uh, Canada. I mean, so broad. It's beyond anything that I ever expected.
That's beyond what I was expecting, and I'll be honest with you. I mean, we've had a lot of artists come through the program. I don't think many of them, I don't think really any of them, or very, very few, if any, have had that type of reach. And that's amazing that they came from your hometown and they were able to connect the dots. I mean, here where you live, it's interesting that from what I understand and have been told, this is the only mall in the county, in the area. And I know it's been a very interesting experience for you because we're right here. We're next to Macy's. We're in a Simon Mall. Simon's the largest mall company in the world. So, good mall. What has so now that you've had the experience initially, dabbling when you were younger, obviously the experience, then getting back into it. Now that you kind of have a space, you've shared with me previously the interactions and conversations and exchanges you've had with people in the mall, the workers in the mall. Kind of talk to us a little bit about what that's been like for you.
Oh my God, it's such an amazing experience. I like to talk. If you don't notice, I like to talk. I'm very friendly. So, I make friends with everybody that passes by. And yes, and when they're walking around, sometimes I hear them coming from down there, Helen, and it's just amazing to see. I never in my wildest dream would imagine that I would have an art studio. I'm going to cry.
You can.
In the mall, and making that connection with not only in Macy's, I go in there, they know me. I go over here. Yesterday, I went over there. Everybody knows me in the salon.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody comes here, they talk. I walk down in the mall as far as the food court, and everybody knows me. And how is business today, Helen? Oh, it's slow. Did you sell anything? Small talks, but at least they know who I am. And they know where I'm at. And because I always tell them, just remember, we're up there by Macy's, okay? I mean, you have to let people know. You can't just sit down and think, well,
they're just going to show up.
They're just going to show up. You know what I mean? So that is one of the most amazing thing. I mean, I get people come here, and today, Helen, I just need a hug. And I hug them. And it makes their day.
Literally.
Literally. The kids are amazing. I mean, you see them come, kids that people would, I don't know what the word is to use.
Troublesome?
That they would think as troublesome, or they reject them because they have a tattoo. They're judgmental of them.
Right.
Those kids love to come here and stand there and talk with me. And they would tell me what an impact I have on their lives.
Because it is, so this is a community. And actually, this Treasure Coast, Martin County area has now become and it's not a small town anymore. Now it's actually...
Oh, it's growing.
Yeah.
It's growing pretty fast.
Yeah, it really is a community. But
yes.
It's interesting here within the mall, like you've come to learn, that I came to learn, that Andrew, my business partner, knows from his experience, being an executive within the mall industry, that there is like mall walkers that people, and I saw this guy walk by 3 times and wave and say hello to you. Hey, how's it going? Yeah. So it's beautiful that you have a community. And also, right, I mean, from my childhood and a lot of people's childhood, you go to the mall. And I also might have been a troublesome youth and And the fact that you could provide some positivity visually, with words, with interactions, with a hug. Your work also is just so vibrant and so colorful and so beautiful, as similar to your personality.
Oh, thank you.
That I'm glad that it has that effect. But about your artwork, since you had the initial dabble, you had the time off, you've said you're mostly self-taught, and that painting feels liberating. How did you go about teaching yourself, and kind of what gave you the confidence to keep going in the early years and even now, later in your art career?
Well, since I took off so much on Facebook, I'm like, okay, then I better get better. And so to do that, I find I needed to go at a faster pace than YouTube would have taught me, and I wanted to see it on a one-on-one, basis. So I looked up art classes in the area in Port St. Lucie and Stewart, and I found Karen Leffel in Stewart by the Nook. The Nook is another art store.
And that's where your upcoming studio mate, she's been teaching classes there. Mandy, who's going to join you next week.
And so Karen took me under her wings, and boy, was she hard on me, like really hard. And I said to her one day, I'm like, how come you are so hard on me and not on anybody else? She's like, because I see potential in you.
Love that. I love that.
And I'm like, okay, well, thank you so much for the confidence. And so I learned from her.
It's okay.
I learned from her, and we used to, from our class was probably about 15 people. We would go on vacation every year.
Oh, wow.
And with us goes Chris Kling, which is another wonderful artist up
Big
here,
time.
and Lori Snowhine.
Okay.
And Lori, I used to pick up Lori at her house, if we're going somewhere where we drive, and on the drive we would talk art, and I learned a lot from them, not only in the painting, the production of the painting, but the business side of it.
Nice.
I mean, I had a little from banking, which was my career for 30 years. So I kind of knew the service part of it, the selling part of it, but I didn't know how to present myself as an artist, because it was hard, Evan, to even think of myself as an artist, because when did I become an artist?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And so I'm just now being comfortable with myself, calling myself an artist,
That's one of the best takeaways that people share with us, because there's so many talented people like yourself that create at home because, that's where you're going to create, that tell us, and oftentimes get teary-eyed even talking about it, I've been painting at home 20, 30, 40 years, making a family, working, doing the things I had to do, that I never called myself an artist because they never stepped out of their house with their artwork. And that's one of the things that kind of continues to fuel us and motivate us to continue doing this work, is to give that validation. I mean, you're on our website, you're on our Facebook, Instagram page, you're going to be on our podcast now.
Yay!
You also came to a great experience we had a few weeks ago with a private tour of the NSU Art Museum in Fort Lauderdale, with their curator and director, Bonnie Clearwater, with
Loved
your
her.
community of artists. That was a phenomenal experience.
Loved her.
So we're so glad that we could help provide that level of validation and support. And then also the things that we share, like the ideas and opportunities like the podcast and stuff like that. So, because you are an artist and you are super talented, I'd like to know, aside from, I guess, those classes, having the opportunity along Karen and Chris Kling, um, who are some of the artists that maybe have inspired, or artists, art movements, things in art that maybe have inspired you and your artwork?
There, I don't know much about the arts
History.
history and stuff, but I there was a guy that I loved watching on YouTube, and his name is Arnold Christian,
Oh
and
yeah.
and he is a French artist.
Oh yeah. Big
Really
time.
wonderful artist. I love his painting, and I look for those people that love the color because I'm so drawn to color, of course, and so him and Mike Swab from Canada, Chris, of course, Lori, Karen, locally,
Mm-hmm.
and I just they inspire me. Of course, I don't know a lot of Jamaican artists, and I don't know of anyone that paints my community.
Mm.
So there wasn't much for me to learn from, you know, and that's why I think they're so proud of me. They tell me all the time, "Oh, we're so proud of you," because I brought my little community on the international stage, and
Amen.
and so now it's like Treasure Beach is up there, and that inspires me. Just knowing that I am helping to promote them. For me, it's well, everybody wants to make money, but it's the way the most satisfying thing is just knowing that they're happy with what I'm doing,
It's
and the
beautiful.
way that I'm bringing Jamaica and Treasure Beach, to
It,
the world stage.
it's absolutely beautiful. I'm so glad that you're able to share that context. I mean,
Hmm.
I didn't really, I didn't know about all the ways that the dots connected, but that's
Hmm.
the power of art, and you're bringing
Hmm.
joy and color and vibrancy and life to people's homes or their
Hmm.
office or wherever the artwork
Hmm.
lands up.
Hmm.
Um, and about your work, it spans Jamaican landscapes, Florida seascapes, and even some anime I saw with the Dragon Ball
Yes.
Z. How do you decide what to paint? Is it memory? Is it mood? Or just inspiration of the moment?
Well, now that I am I'm calling myself an artist, I am dabbling a little bit in the abstract world.
Okay.
I call myself an impressionist, realist, but I also love abstract because it makes you think out of the box. And so I am I am trying to get into that, and also to I don't want to not paint my landscapes or not paint my country, um, and I'm teaching myself portraiture
Okay.
because I'm bad at that. I don't know,
Not
but
as experienced with it yet.
yeah. So day by day, I have seen my progress from, because really I just started this, like, even though I started in the 90s with those couple of classes, there was such a big break that now it's like 5 years, going 5 years since my dad passed, that I'm doing this, and I'm here
Yes, you are.
in the mall,
Yes, you are.
so from that, I mean, I am open up to anything that I can learn. I think as an artist, you have to be open. You have to be able to, because, like, for example, in here, you'd be surprised to know how many things people want us to paint. And sometimes I look at
Yeah.
the anime that's in there. I do them. Like for kids, the little ones, I do them for the kids. But you got to be able to paint anything because Of course, you're here to make art, to make money, to sell them. And so we have to be able to be open to whatever it is that they want. And so I try, to teach myself. Well, where do I want to go? One day I'll settle down into something that I'm gonna,
Maybe.
it's gonna be my own,
Well, you
my
you do
own
have
style.
your own style because
Mm-hmm.
these experiences and these
Mm-hmm.
memories that you're sharing
Mm-hmm.
from your homeland and your hometown, those are obviously exclusive to
Mm-hmm.
you.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yes.
and it was
Yes.
interesting kind of when we heard from the tour with Bonnie Clearwater about some of these legendary, famous Frida Kahlo, Diego Cortez artists,
Right. Right.
how they traveled,
Mm-hmm.
got inspiration,
Mm-hmm.
experimented, did a different
Mm-hmm.
series, did a different
Mm-hmm.
style, collaborated, had
Mm-hmm.
shared muses,
Yeah.
shared things. So I'm glad that you are expanding and that you are
Mm-hmm.
getting into some
Mm-hmm.
abstract expressionism, and
Mm-hmm.
and the seascapes, the landscapes will always be there,
Mm-hmm.
and you are available for commissions of portraits of whatever the the client asked. They had an interesting request we won't mention, but
No, we won't mention that, but
I'm glad that you at least feel comfortable and confident enough that right, you're able to show up, you're able to make beautiful work that the universe, the world, the community responds to, and they're supporting you. And also prices are, especially for this is oil,
mm-hmm.
very fair and
Mm-hmm.
reasonable.
Mm-hmm.
I always do like to say yesterday's prices might not be there tomorrow, so purchase them. So
Exactly.
purchase them
Exactly.
well today because there might be a zero getting added to some of these soon.
Exactly.
But now that you've been here for a little bit in our Jensen Beach space, um, what does having a studio to create in outside of your home mean for you as an artist?
Oh my God. First, Evan, thank you so much for having me here. I mean, now I have two studios. And that's all because of you guys. And the friendships that I've formed here, the clientele that I've formed, um, that would they even spread the word for me. You know, I had a guy the other day. He walked by, and he just walked by, and he goes, "I'm sending somebody to you," and I have no idea who he is. The person came, and they're like, "Oh, this person sent me to you, and I want that painting," and that was a really decent amount.
Oh wow.
And I haven't seen him again to say thank you. Like, who is he? I have no clue, Evan. So that's the kind of relationship that you build, and the respect,
Mm-hmm.
because they know that I'm honest. They know that I'm reliable. They know that I'm a good artist,
Mm-hmm.
and they love that. The you know Sometimes even the workers in the mall, they will stop by. Jim, the manager, love him to death, and you get so much. Sometimes it becomes overwhelming. I mean, sometimes I go home and I try to relax, but you can't, you know, because there's so much going on in your
Right.
head, because there's so many requests, and it's like, oh my God, who would have thought?
We might need to get you an apprentice or
When did I ever get here, Evan? I mean, it's beyond me. Javier now is having the same,
which were very another talented
you know,
artist.
and so
Very happy
when
for him.
people come here and they ask about the space, I say to them, listen, it's month to month. It's a really good place to be, but don't think you're going to come here, just put your work down and forget about it. You have to show up. You have to work.
Right.
You have to give it at least 3-4 months because you got to build.
Right.
And they appreciate that so much because I'm talking from my experience.
Right.
So thank you so much, Evan. You know, it's been such a journey, and to know that I didn't know of you guys. It was a girl, my good friend from my class that I painted at the Nook. And she said to me, let's go into the mall and have something to eat. And I'm like, okay. So I'm like, okay. And then we had something to eat, and she's like, oh, did you know about the new art store that they open up by Macy's? And I'm like,
Nice.
really? So we're like, okay, let's go up there and see. You guys had just opened up, the thing.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, I want to be here. But then, it's like the confidence. Am I good enough to be there? Do I have enough art to fill a studio? It was all of that. And I procrastinated for a few months. And then my son said to me, Mommy, you really want to do it? And I'm like, sure. So he's like, what's the name? And he paid for it. My first month, my whatever. And he's like, okay, now you don't have an excuse. So here I am, so it's just an amazing, amazing journey. And I can't thank you enough. And to know that now I love
Connect Team, our app.
Because we can interact with other artists, with each other, know what's going on in the art world, which is so hard because you're so focused on what you're doing here that
Right.
sometimes you don't see things going on or you don't hear about them. Or when you do, they're already past.
Right.
So that I love.
And they're in different counties. Like you got to know about opportunities from artists in Palm Beach County, which is a really just share ideas, share inspiration. We're super grateful and humbled to be able to support talented artists like yourself. Deserving of the opportunity. I mean, once again, to be in a mall, mind you, she's up front in the front space in the window. It really for average space is $250 a month to month, 0% commission with the water, electric, tax, utilities, insurance, maintenance included. You don't have to worry about the business license. You don't have to worry about the things. Like, we take care of that. It really is a dream of a lifetime. I'm glad that you mentioned the 3 or 4 months thing. It does work for some. It doesn't work for all. I mean, this space is interestingly kind of gone in waves. We were full when we started. And then we had a couple artists drop off for various reasons, and now we do have more space available to join Helen and Javier. But if you would be so kind to share, what was your first day and first week like here?
Oh my God, my first week here. First of all, it was nerve-wracking because I've never done anything like this before, and to put myself out there was like, oh, okay. My mom would say, is either you're going to sink or swim, right? So I'm like, okay, so I'm going to swim. I'm going to take the chance. I'm going to go out. And then in the first week, I think I probably sold like around 3 or 4 almost. And then the next week was, and I'm like, what? No way.
And when you told me that, and it was coming off the heels of, we had some artists leave because they weren't getting enough foot traffic that they were relying on, and that they weren't selling enough. And I'm like, well, what, to your point, what are you doing to get the word out? What business opens in 2025 and does zero marketing and just relies on, you just going to wait? But on the flip side, by putting yourself out there, being in the public, and if you're in the front of the space or the back, Javier's in the back of the space, people still come in and see it by putting yourself out there, by showing up, by doing the work, which we ask you to do very minimal amount of work compared to a lot of art projects. That at least gives the opportunity for the public to discover your artwork and to support you. So it was super rewarding, and I'm so glad you shared that success story and some of the other success stories that you share with us. That it does work, and you know, we don't take any commission, so we're not increasing your rent just because you sell. You know, we're just glad to do it, to have whatever the art process and studio practice is for you. For some people, it's a passion. For some people, it's a hobby. For some people, it's a job, and or a side hustle. But whatever you want it to be, we're glad to at least provide the opportunity and the space for you and other talented artists or emerging artists that might not even think they're talented yet to discover that, to develop that, to let that unfold. Javier's work has continually improved, and he's amazing. Certainly a very talented local artist within himself. So I appreciate the kind words and feedback and interest and support. If they would like to see your artwork on social media, where can they find you?
Creative Arts by Helen.
Amazing.
And that's my my Instagram, and just Helen Parchment-Linton on Facebook. Yeah. So I created my TikTok page, but yeah.
We'll get your daughter to do a little bit more help with that.
I need a little help with that one. But yeah, I mean, we get we get a lot of business from across the
salon.
The salon.
Yeah.
People come over there, they do their nails, they look straight over here, and that's why I strategically place or paintings in a way that they can see them, from there. And I told, the other artists here, let's see how they can see more of our work.
Beautiful.
And they come across, we get a lot of work from over there.
Some of the best success stories that we have come from clients, collectors, buyers, that have told us, yeah, I go get my nails done every so many weeks, whatever the frequency may be for them. And they're like, I watched this piece of art transform in the window. And thankfully, there's actually a window that runs the whole, this whole space is open with windows so people can see it. And then they, after a while, because the space is public facing and is open to the public, and they can come in and have the conversation with you, that enables and allows them to maybe make a purchase of artwork, because so many artist studios are traditionally either in their home or or they are in an industrial warehouse district where the rent is generally cheap, but that's not a place that's generally walkable.
Yeah.
So by having it here in the mall, and especially considering this is the only mall in the county and the only mall in the area, then it really is a great opportunity for commerce and discovery. So we're super glad to make that opportunity available for you, for the community. We do have more spaces here available. If you'd like to join Helen, Javier, and our upcoming new artist, Mandy, who's going to be teaching kids classes, which is great. You can find us at zeroemptyspaces.com. You can find us on Instagram at Zero Empty Spaces. If you go on to Google Maps and you type in Zero Empty Spaces Jensen Beach, this location will come up specifically. You can see images from this location, get directions here. They're open every day from 12 to 5 p.m. And thankfully, even though we're short-staffed, they've done a phenomenal job, thank you, of keeping the space open. Because we're in a mall. When you sign a lease with the mall, especially with Simon, you got to be open daily. That's part of the deal. when we have multiple artists in here and everybody does their part to do a minimum of 1 day per week, which is really the only requirement aside from covering the floor, it's not difficult to keep the space open and active. But when it's 2 artists, I know that's a lot more work, but hard work does pay off. I know we're going to have some more artists joining us. We've thankfully got some support from the St. Lucie Cultural Council, which included us in their quarterly magazine recently, which we appreciate. And we're working to, always get more opportunities. We're discussing having our first artist potluck here around the holiday times to bring people together, foster that sense of community. So certainly encourage you to come, meet, schedule an appointment, just come in for a studio tour, meet Helen, meet Javier. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. Obviously, as you can see, we're open books. And the last question I'd like to wrap up with, you said there's nothing more fulfilling than knowing you bring joy to someone through your art. What do you want the viewer, the collector, the public to take away from viewing and interacting with your artwork? What do you want them to know, aside from just seeing a pretty picture and a pretty painting? What would you like that to invoke?
Oh my goodness. I would love for them to know that everything is possible, because my story is deep. And before I moved up here, homelessness was becoming a very real thing for me. And I was almost on the street with my kids. And I cried for a little bit. But then after that, I'm like, what good is that going to do me? So I got myself together. I got up and I moved to Port St. Lucie and started my art career like out of nowhere. And from the passageway of the entryway of my house to the garage to Simon's Mall, in the mall in Jensen Beach. And so never give up, look at me and look at what's coming from all of this. And know that it's possible. It's possible that when you're feeling like you're at the end of your rope,
Amen,
there's a light somewhere. And when you buy a piece of my art, you're getting a piece of that, because I wholeheartedly put myself into my art. And as a collector said to me the other day, there's so much of you in this painting. And that's what I love. The joy of knowing that I can be a light in this world. It's just amazing.
you really
It's just
are.
gratifying. And I just love it.
I really appreciate you sharing that with us. I appreciate you sharing your gifts with the world and the community. We're super glad to support you. And right, it is possible. Everybody, Picasso, Basquiat, Renoir, all of them, all started at the same place. Everybody learned. Some went to art school. Some are self-taught. Some went through YouTube University. But if it's what you want, and it's not going to be easy, and there are no handouts in life, but if you show up, if you work hard, if you're a good person and you're authentic and genuine, it is 100% absolutely possible, as evidence here. So I certainly appreciate you sharing that. Certainly appreciate everybody that supported your artwork. We appreciate the Treasure Coast Square Mall team, Jim, Vinny, Amy, and Simon Malls and Simon Property Group,
They're
who's
amazing.
a great partner to make these spaces available for us. And yeah, we look forward to seeing you at the next event. Look
Mm-hmm.
forward to seeing you at the future potluck here.
Mm-hmm.
Stay tuned for that. Close to probably a little bit before Thanksgiving time.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, don't hesitate to reach out. You never know what's possible. Hopefully, coming to a city near you soon.
Yes, yes, yes,
And we'll see you on the next one.
yes.
Cheers.